see the demo. So Fabricatorz is next with the demo. And it's a nice transition from Parag's comments because the reason that we chose Fabricatorz for the demo is that they're a group that take a lot of these ecosystem concepts of makerspaces, hacking, and connected networks and apply a lot of intention to them to make larger scale products, things like books, things that are typically more complexly constructed than sort of you get out of a hackathon. So I don't know who's up first. Christopher? Come on up. And so we're gonna take about 20 to 30 minutes to show you some of the stuff that Fabricatorz is doing, and then we'll finish with Elizabeth and Kelsey's keynotes and take a short break before that.
欢迎大家好. Is it okay if I speak English? Okay, this is a bit of a trick. I like to get away with just one slide for the whole presentation. So here's the one slide. I think in like a lot of data, you really have to look very deeply, very closely at it to see what's here. So this is our demo for the Shenzhen assembly. We are sort of a global team of people. Everybody's going to have a bit of a chance to come up and address the assembly today. We're from a lot of different places around the world, including, but none of us are actually maybe born in these places. I think this is going to keep going. So Liu, who's standing behind me, is sort of an expert in biology, engineering, networks, and I just wanted to give her a quick chance to talk about what she's doing here in Shenzhen.
Hi everyone. Thanks for giving me the chance to talk about my interest in what I'm doing now. So actually I'm a designer who is interested in science and technology, especially synthetic biology, and also aerospace engineering. I'm working on a project that basically asks the question of... Okay. Thank you. I'm working on a project that encodes our whole life digital data inside the DNA of some external field and send it to space. The question is transfer digital life to organic life because I think the nature form is the future, which can because I think nature is the final lifestyle for the whole life because. Hardware, everything you can break, for example, half and you lose the data, but the nature, for example, DNA can keep a lot of information for 1,000 years. This is what human beings arrived until now. This is what I'm working on, and also I come back to Shenzhen because they have the whole ecosystem and facility of manufacturing. It's very easy for me as a designer to realize all the kind of dreams very quick. Yeah, this is what I'm doing now. Thank you.
Next we have Susan Spencer, who's working on open source fashion software.
Hi, my background is in network security, and my background is in network security, and I stopped working in that world and started trying to be more of a creative person. And in doing this, I looked into sewing and sewing patterns and realized that the offerings that were out there were hugely expensive, and the data formats were proprietary, and that it really wasn't easy for someone outside the system to break into the fashion industry. So I thought the best thing to do is use open source tools because as a networker, I used open source tools every day, and they were very high quality, and they met my needs precisely. So I took this approach to making new fashion software, and then I started looking at the fashion industry as a whole and realized that this was something that's been cobbled together over 100 years. We've achieved some diseconomies of scale. Some of the really awful things that we experience, when we study the fashion industry, is that we're horrified by the amounts of child labor that is involved, the amounts of indentured servitude that goes into making our clothes. So that if we start making tools that meet our needs, and we can empower independent designers to have an impact in this world where previously they've been sort of shut out through barriers, to entry, then we can have more control over who makes our clothes. So there's a tremendous interest throughout the world that consumers are changing, they're demanding products that not only fit our bodies, but fit our values. So embedded in our tools are ways to have alternative production means rather than in making those profitable at smaller batch sizes, rather than following the current model where standard batch orders are 10,000 per unit. So in empowering the little guy, I think that we can change the world. So do open source.
Okay, well, while Barry gets set up, I want to try a little bit of an exercise. Can everybody stand up? So I was curious about this know thyself, and I thought actually maybe the most important thing is know thy neighbor. So I want you to find someone you don't actually know in person. You can shake hands, but I want you to try shaking the person's hand. Try to actually feel one hand. Feel the other. And I want you to see if there's a difference between the two hands.
My name is Yoga.
Might really have to squeeze them. So we know we have